Jordan Poole was finally introduced as a Washington Wizard and looks dead inside. The Oklahoma City Thunder front office proved once again that they're playing chess and not checkers, and the Pittsburgh Pirates added to one of the most exciting young cores in Major League Baseball. Let's take a look back at the weekend that was in sports. What's going on, everybody? Welcome into the last weekend in sports. Thank you. Oh, okay. Yes, sir. I see you over there. You already know the deal by now. This is where I catch you up on the major storylines you might have missed over a busy weekend. Of course, it's your boy, Scott Procter, your Monday morning quarterback. But before we get in today's show, be sure to stay tuned to the end to find out who I award this week's Weekend Warrior, as well as give a shout out to an organization that's giving back. But Jordan Poole was not too long ago viewed as the third Splash brother alongside Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and the future of the Golden State Warriors franchise. But one sucker punch and one less than stellar postseason later, Poole was shipped off to the nation's capital in a trade for Chris Paul. Over the weekend, that trade was finalized as Poole was introduced by his new team, the Washington Wizards, and let's just say he doesn't look too excited, no matter what he says.
What's up, Wizards fans? It's JP here checking in. Extremely excited to be here. Extremely excited to start a new chapter.
Clearly, both me and Jordan Poole need a little haircut, but unlike me, my man's JP looked dead inside.
I am dead inside.
And how could you blame him? He was a massive reason why the Warriors even won the 2022 NBA Finals behind his 17 points and 4 assists per game throughout that postseason. But after getting sucker punched by his former teammate Draymond Green during an altercation at practice in October and struggling in the postseason this year, Poole seems to have been made the Warriors' scapegoat for a disappointing season. I'm not sure how you can ink someone to a 4-year, $128 million extension like the Warriors did in October and then turn around just 9 months later to trade him for a 38-year-old point guard. Damn! A 38-year-old point guard who has a checkered past with your franchise player in Steph Curry. Damn! To me, it doesn't add up, and it's probably why Jordan Poole looks so depressed in Wizards colors. But we're wishing you the best in Washington, JP. Go do your thing, man. Make them regret it. But moving on from one Western Conference team to another, the Oklahoma City Thunder front office is playing chess while a lot of these other franchises are just playing checkers. In a seemingly inconspicuous trade over the weekend, the Atlanta Hawks traded Ty Washington, Usman Garuba, and Rudy Gay in a cost-cutting move to the Thunder for Patty Mills. The Hawks save about $4.5 million in salary with the deal, and in return, the Thunder picked up another future second-round pick. The deal now gives OKC let me check my notes here, a mind-blowing 35 draft picks over the next 7 years, including 15 first-round picks.
What?
I mean, right here is a look at their picks in just the next 2 years. 4 of those 35 first-round picks came from Houston for Russell Westbrook, and 5 of them came from the Clippers in exchange for Paul George. Thunder GM Sam Presti is not playing around and has helped give OKC one of the brightest futures in the association. Not only that, but he can draft as well. It's one thing to stockpile draft picks, but it's a whole other thing entirely to actually hit on those picks. Just in the last 5 years, Presti and the Thunder have drafted Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who is a first-team All-NBA player this past season, Josh Giddey, who is an exciting, versatile young player, Jalen Williams, another wing, exciting player, the other Jalen Williams, and of course, Chet Holmgren at number 2 overall last year, who looks like a future star. They then drafted Kentucky guard Cason Wallace at number 10 overall this year, who just dropped 20 points in 6 made threes in his summer league debut over the weekend. And we already know how those Kentucky guards pan out in the NBA. The Thunder, they're already a playoff team in a tough Western Conference, and they could quickly become a title contender with their boatload of assets. But moving on, and speaking of bright futures, the Pittsburgh Pirates are the new envy of Major League Baseball after drafting LSU pitcher Paul Skenes with the number 1 overall pick during Sunday's MLB Draft. Skenes was the best pitcher in college baseball this season for the national champion LSU Tigers and had a Division I leading 209 strikeouts, which broke the SEC record. The 6'6" right-hander regularly throws his fastball into the triple digits. In fact, he threw 62 pitches at 100+ miles per hour in 2 men's College World Series starts. And he mixes in a nasty slider that can make him a big leaguer as early as 2024. That right there, that's scary for the rest of the majors because the Pirates already have one of the best young cores in all of baseball. Henry Davis was the #1 overall pick of the Pirates in 2021 and was recently called up.
He's a dog.
O'Neal Cruz, he's still out with an injury, but he's the face of the franchise at just 24 years old.
Dog.
Ke'Bryan Hayes is still only 26-year-old and arguably the best defensive third baseman in baseball.
Dog.
Jack Sawinski.
Dog.
Former first-round pick Nick Gonzalez.
Dog.
And Mitch Keller is having an all-star caliber season on the mound.
Dog.
All young dogs, like my boy says. This Pirates team is on the rise. And new #1 overall pick, Paul Skenes, he's just the tip of the iceberg. But moving on to my weekend warrior, it's Utah Jazz rookie Keyonte George, who balled out in the NBA Summer League on Saturday night. The #16 overall pick out of Baylor dropped 33 points on 50% shooting from the field to go along with 10 assists. What makes Keyonte's performance even more special is his phone lock screen, which is a photo of his pre-draft scouting report weaknesses that included athleticism, three-point consistency, shot selection, passing, and turnovers. The 19-year-old, he responded by drilling 6 threes and dropping 10 dimes for the people who said my mans couldn't shoot or pass. Keyonte George is a future star, and he's my weekend warrior. Lastly, let's give a round of applause to Luke's Wings, our non-profit spotlight that is out here making a difference in people's lives. If you are unfamiliar with Luke's Wings, this amazing organization provides complimentary airfare to wounded, ill, and injured service members and their loved ones during their recovery and rehabilitation periods, allowing them to be with their loved ones and still get the care they desperately need. As of early 2022, Luke's Wings has provided over 14,000 tickets on commercial airlines for families across the country since 2008. But that's going to do it for us. Go check out our recent PPOV where I discuss why Chicago Bears quarterback Justin Fields is going to be a sneaky MVP candidate this season. But catch us right here for Last Weekend in Sports every single Monday. And don't forget, as always, to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you then.